Hello, I'm Rob Akert. We're live at the ISC West here in Las Vegas, and I'm joined today with Larry Reed with ZKTeco, the USA CEO, representing America.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we've both been in this industry for quite a while. I would love to hear maybe your day-to-day, some challenges you're hearing, and just maybe some best thoughts of of the industry. So.
Yeah. Well, Rob, first of all, thank you so much for having us here. And we've been coming to ISC West almost 10 years, and it's really rewarding seeing the continued growth of the Security Industry Association. We're involved with many of the new initiatives, the OSTP protocol, promoting that, and just being part of this is very exciting. But just looking at the industry, it's nice to see that, unfortunately the US and Western Europe, we're not the quickest embracers of new technology, as actually often third world countries are. And I work for an international company, and sometimes it's a little discouraging, but finally I could see America, consumers now are adopting things like biometrics. I was kind of laughing. I got so accustomed to the fingerprint sensor on my phone that when I went to the iPhone 10, I'm looking for the fingerprint sensor. They said, no, it's now a camera doing face recognition. So even though a lot of the integrators have been a little slow at picking up some of the newer technologies because no one likes to be the first to market, consumers are now finally driving technology. And now with the advent of artificial intelligence, so many of these technologies are really getting interwoven into our everyday lives. I mean, Honeywell now really is taking over home automation. And as a homeowner, life is becoming so much more convenient, simpler, and less expensive, now controlling appliances. So I'm really seeing a passion for technology, and consumers driving and integrators now stepping on board, and us being a provider of biometrics, of course, and artificial intelligence, we're very much involved with that as well. So just very exciting times for the industry.
Yeah, it really is an exciting time. I agree. So since we're live, here at the ISC West, so if a current customer or even someone who doesn't know much about your company comes to your booth, what are you sharing with them here at the show?
Well, it becomes more and more a challenge when we have customers come to our booth because, a lot of the vendors here, they've got a core competency and they focus on, and their product line is pretty much limited, at least just in diversity. But because biometrics is the core of our technology, and we've been doing that for almost 20 years, many folks don't know we're actually one of the world's largest biometric time clock manufacturers. So we used to have a variety of time clocks. Now here at the show, biometrics now is in so many more applications and not just security. So when people come to our booth, first thing I have to make sure is, well, what type of security application are you looking for? Now, if they're mentioning door security, I could say, wonderful, here's an access control application. What kind of credentials are you using? What kind of biometrics intrigue you? Or perhaps they might be into parking management where they don't want to know about a single door controller. They want to talk about license plate recognition and long-range UHF readers. So it really is a challenge, but I assure you, anybody who comes to our booth, there's such a variety of technology. Any requirement they have, no doubt we can fill it.
When I talk to installer, dealers, and integrators, one thing I hear is they like to share best practices. They like to hear from their peers. What are some things that you're hearing either from your customers or maybe an attendee here at the show?
Well, Rob, what you just said, best practices, is so important because you can have the world's greatest technology, but if you don't have a well-trained installer who doesn't properly educate the end user, things go bad really fast. And it's unfortunate because the end user has wasted their time. They think very poorly of the installer, and of course the manufacturer doesn't look good either. So it's so important to have set proper expectations with the consumer and make sure you're only working with a trained installer. And now regarding biometrics, biometrics have been around for so long, but why hasn't it been accepted more widely? It's really because of a lack of knowledge of how it works. Some people might say, well, I tried fingerprint recognition 5 or 10 years ago and it didn't work. And I said, to be honest with them, when I have a metal key and I make a copy at Home Depot or Lowe's, and if I put it in my door lock and it doesn't work the first time, I know if I raise my elbow a little bit or I pull out the key a 32nd of an inch, it'll work. So truthfully, you need to make sure for best practices, the end user understands the benefit and the value of the technology their boss invested in, and that you have their mind that they're going to learn how to make it work. So best practices, you absolutely need to set proper expectations and make sure your end users and your installers are trained.
I'm going to close with one last question. There's this term thought leader. Each industry, each product has a thought leader. Tell me maybe what your thought leaders are sharing with customers and prospects.
Well, that's kind of I've never really heard that question, but when you talk about thought leadership, I guess every one of us should really understand as a person and as a company, really, what is your value add that you want to bring about? And I thought about this last night. I had to kind of laugh because I know you didn't want to share with me the questions. You wanted this to be spontaneous. But two heroes of mine who are truly thought leaders, where one was Henry Ford, and one was Elon Musk. And the reason why I say those two individuals, they brought expensive technology to the masses. It was all about mass production, the automobile being brought to the forefront, making it affordable. Not only helped the consumer have affordable, convenient transportation, but it created so many industries. Auto dealerships, part industry, distributorships, oil refineries. Elon Musk with his electric car he had so much money, as you know. Why did he have to invest in a car company? He wanted to bring electric cars to the consumer so we get away from diesel fuel. So really the point behind my company, we want to bring very complicated, expensive technology to the masses. We want to make sure that access control is affordable. And where my real passion and my joy comes from is when we speak with customers who budgeted so much for security. And we free up so much of that budget because our products are so affordable. Now they can invest in things like shooter detection and metal detection, and there's so many other things that the schools, consumers, hospitals can invest in that really provides a much safer environment for their employees, staff, and guests. So our thought leadership, our attitude is let's bring technology to the consumer so everyone can benefit.
Yeah, amazing. So I'm joined here with Larry Reed with ZKTeco here at the ISC Security Systems News, video booth. So thank you very much.
Oh, Rob, I hope we get to do this again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.